This video is sponsored by Gotchi. Gotchi is a really cool mix-up of multiple blockchain features including gaming, NFTs and DeFi. Fundamentally how it works is you have to take some tokens, they're called A tokens, they're created by the Aave DeFi protocol, and you use those to mint an Gotchi. An Gotchi is like a Tamagotchi but on the blockchain, and it kind of lives around. You have to kind of look after it, and you can play games with it, and you can get wearables for it and do the kind of cool things that we'd expect to do with it with a kind of living blockchain NFT. But what's interesting is it always has a value because you've taken some of these A tokens to mint it in the first place, and the A tokens always gain an interest rate, so the value goes up. Of course, the value also arises from how the project is developing and the cool things you can do with it. So it's a kind of best of both worlds. It's really cool. I suggest you check it out at aavegotchi.com. Thanks for the sponsorship. Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World Daily with me, John Jordan. So in this video today, I thought we'd have a quick look at the roadmap for Zaya, which is a blockchain gaming platform for 2021. Disclosure, I do a bit of work for Zaya, so just so you know. But it's interesting to see what these guys are doing. It's a very different approach to what we've seen really with games, effectively smart contract games running on smart contract blockchains, as we've seen with Ethereum, EOS, Wax, all those kind of blockchains. This is very much kind of back to the kind of old school ethos of making something happen on everything happens on the blockchain. All the kind of gaming activity is on chain, and this is a blockchain which is effectively a fork of Bitcoin. It's actually a fork of Bitcoin, but by the by. So it's a very different sort of way of approaching gaming. There's a few other companies doing similar things. I guess Planetarium with its 9 Chronicles is one similar example. But anyway, so what's happening with Zaya at the moment? So there's a few different things. There's basically the platform, and then there's 2 key games that are being developed on Zaya. So the first thing is there is currently how you interact with the Zaya blockchain is you have this kind of launcher wallet client. So this is all PC based. So you can download this kind of wallet, and it effectively acts as a kind of as a wallet, and it also obviously syncs to the blockchain, and then you can then sync to games through that. So this is going to update, and you can the updated version will have kind of the games and the wallet will kind of all be linked in together. So you would launch games from within this kind of launcher. At the moment, there's different ways of doing it, but the games, particularly on Zaya, which are Torion and Soccer Manager Elite, they have the kind of wallet built into them. So you just download the game and the wallet's built into them, which is kind of logical. But for some people, if you want to play multiple games, it would make more sense to have the wallet kind of the launchers for the games built into the kind of the wallet software that you have. So different ways of interacting with it. Chat is a big thing. So there is chat systems already in the games Torion and Soccer Manager Elite. But it kind of makes sense to have them in the wallet as well, and these are encrypted. A big thing that we'll kind of see is Android. So running blockchains on mobile devices is not the easiest thing, because obviously they're lower powered devices, but clearly that's where a lot of audience is on mobile. So you kind of want to get blockchain games towards mobile. Obviously then you also have an issue with if you're trying to put things through app stores, the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. They have obviously very restrictive kind of legal restrictions. Well, they would be restrictive legal restrictions about blockchain anyway. Some other things, mining pool we don't have to worry about. Block Explorer, this is kind of blockchainy type stuff, which is all very well and interesting, but I won't kind of highlight that sort of stuff. So the thing about Android here, so this is going to take a while to get this to a completed stage. So they've got a Q4 2021 on this. So basically building out the entire kind of Zaya client to run on Android. It will run in a light mode. You won't be running the full thing. Obviously, there's not enough power in the phones. And obviously you're keeping your private keys. So a key focus on this is actually this Soccer Manager Elite game, which we'll go into a little bit, which is like a football management game. It's like an economic system really for football management. and there's a lot of interest from people who have Android devices and don't have PC devices. Currently, Soccer Manager Elite's only available as a PC download. I've done a few videos about that. So Android is a big focus there. A few interesting things here. So this Fiat Gateway. So obviously in blockchain, there are quite a lot of solutions now, and have been for a while, where you can just buy different cryptocurrencies with a credit card. That's very helpful for onboarding people who don't necessarily know about crypto and don't have a wallet set up with Bitcoin or whatever. So that's helpful. There's obviously legal issues around that. This is kind of interesting. Not necessarily what you expect from a blockchain games company. They're building a DEX, a decentralized exchange. So this would be something where Chi is the underlying asset for Zaya. So where ETH would be the underlying asset, native asset for Ethereum, and Bitcoin for the Bitcoin blockchain, Chi is the asset for the Zaya blockchain. So as each of these games is going to have its own token, so there's Soccer Manager coins for the Soccer Manager Elite game. You want to have a way of being able to exchange between Chi and Soccer Manager coins and back again. Again, legal issues around this sort of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how this comes along. Kind of this, is a few months away, particularly more on the front end side of things. Again, kind of related to this, there is this thing called wrapped Chi. So we're seeing a lot of blockchains at the moment linking into Ethereum, and they're doing that with a wrapped token. So obviously, Bitcoin and Ethereum are totally different blockchains, totally different cryptocurrencies. But we've now seen a lot of people taking Bitcoin, so they basically take their Bitcoin, they lock it into a contract, and then that contract issues what's called wrapped Bitcoin. So basically they're locking up the Bitcoin, they can't use it, and then a new version of Bitcoin called wrapped Bitcoin is created on Ethereum. And we're seeing that with lots of other blockchains, lots of new blockchains coming along. Actually, we've seen it with things like Splinterlands. The game on Hive has a wrapped version of its dark energy crystals. So it'd be interesting to have a version of a Chi, which would be wrapped and run on Ethereum. Technically, this is not actually that difficult to bridge these things, but obviously it has to be trusted in the sense that if I take 100 Chi and lock them up and get 100 wrapped Chi, that has to be kind of trusted. The fact that I'm not taking 100 Chi, wrapping them up and creating 1,000 wrapped Chi. So obviously these are. The whole point of a blockchain is you have this kind of this trustless controlled system, and when you start linking blockchains, you can potentially allow bad things to happen, double spend, all that sort of stuff. So technically it's not that difficult, but there is legal and trust issues with who's basically running the bridging software. So that's kind of interesting. So this is all kind of structural stuff, platform-based stuff. I'll go through this. So there's these games. So Zaya Ships is a version of Battleships running on the Zaya blockchain. It's more like a tech demo sort of thing at the moment, because it's Battleships, but obviously you could skin it in different ways. So the main focus at the moment is Soccer Manager Elite, which is currently open currently available in an open beta. So it's pretty nice to play. I've been playing it. So every two times a week, the teams all play each other, and people can be managers of teams. People can own shares in players, and they can earn their coins depending on obviously how well the teams do and how much the players are getting paid. So it's more an economic kind of simulation than a kind of soccer management game. We're still fairly early stages. So at the moment, the beta is running, and there's lots of things to be updated. And also the economy, as it says here, is placeholder. So there's some economic things still to be added, and at the moment the game's going to be reset. The beta will be reset before it goes into kind of a persistent state. So that's still ongoing. There's lots of different things here. So we can see what's going on here. Email, say Android is pretty massive, particularly for this kind of game appeals globally, and lots of people obviously around the world don't necessarily have PCs that can run these sort of games, but they all have mobile phones. So the other game is Torion, which is a bit like it's a sort of turn-based / real-time strategy game. The turn-based bit is because it obviously runs on block times, so it is kind of real-time, but it's not instantaneous, if you see what I mean. So there's a couple of 3 different kind of demos that ran in 2020 about Torion, where people were just testing various things out. The game's some of the main features are not even in the game yet. You can see here some stuff: NPCs, leveling, alliances, character progression. So that's still got quite a long way to go. but it's a pretty interesting game actually. It's kind of like a version of Dune, really, like a strategy version of Dune, set on the Dune world, where you're running around collecting materials, mining materials, then collecting blueprints, and then building things from the blueprints, and massive tank battles across the planet. So that's pretty interesting. And this is again towards the end of the year is going to be like a trading game based on the. So it'll run on the same universe, but it's going to be like again an economic simulation. So it'll just be kind of menu based rather than the 3D kind of strategy game that the main Torion game is. So that's kind of interesting. It's kind of having a layer solution. Some people will be more interested in the economics potentially. And again, obviously, this is the sort of stuff you could run on a phone rather than running it on a PC, because Torion is a proper 3D game, so it's using Unreal Engine, so you need a fairly decent PC to do that. So there we go. Quite a lot going on for the team at Zaya. I shall be hopefully helping them along a little bit in my own special way. But thanks for watching the video. This is Blockchain Gaming World. Looking forward to what's going to happen in 2021. So please subscribe if you're interested in this stuff. But thanks for watching the video, and see you again soon.